You asked to talk about racial discrimination in sports, and I'll talk about racial disparities first, so racial inequalities. And there are lots of examples, but I'm going to talk about two very obvious examples. And one is that minorities are vastly underrepresented in positions of power, in ownership, in management and coaching positions in professional sports. And two, there are huge disparities in graduation rates for white versus black players at the college level. So let me give you some examples of those disparities. So first, in terms of representation, overall black men make up around 3% of full-time undergraduate students, but they represent over 60% of male basketball players and around 57% of football players. But in Division I schools, only 12% of the head coaches are African American. And at the Big Ten Conference, which NC State's not a part of, but among the Big Ten schools, 0 of the head coaches were African American in the past 10 years. And it's even worse at the Division II and Division III schools. Among the head coaches, around 8% were African American. And then second, in terms of graduation rates at the undergraduate level. So in basketball, in the 2011 NCAA men's basketball tournament, the schools that were in that, only 59% of black male players graduate and 91% of the white male players graduated. And an extreme example is Kansas State University, where its men's basketball players saw 100% of its white male players graduate and only 14% of its black male players graduate. And then, so that's some examples of the racial inequality.